things you like to do or want to learn more about.
Sharp thinking. Learning preference is the right choice.
What is the percentage of learning through touch? Great job. 150% is the accurate answer. A weakness of the learning style concept is that? Excellent choice. There is very little scientific evidence to support it is the right answer. Which learning style is this? I learn by listening. Right again. Auditory is a valid answer. Learning styles influence which of the following? Well picked. How students learn, how teachers teach, and their interaction is the correct answer. The way a person thinks and learns is called dash. Excellent. Learning styles is a brilliant choice. The style of learning by listening is called dash. Well done. Auditory is the right choice. What I can do when my learning style is visual is... Smart move. Highlight notes is an accurate answer. Which one of these is not a main learning style? Well reasoned. You learn better by smell is the correct choice. Which learning style likes to work with numbers? Bravo, logical is the answer. What are the different types of learning styles?
Nice selection. Visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic is the correct and valid answer.
Which one is not one of Kolb's learning styles?
Correct response. Activists is the most accurate answer.
Learning by touching and moving is called dash.
Valid point. Tactile kinesthetic learner is true.
Each of us has a mixture dash learning styles. You chose off, and it is correct. Which learning style learns through touching? Nice work. You chose kinesthetic learner, and it is correct. Learning preference, write, read, tell stories. You got it. Your choice verbal linguistic is right. Learning preference, draw, create, build, look. Solid response. Visual spatial is a valid choice. A learning style where you like to work alone. You're right. Solitary is the correct answer. Which learning style responds to conferences? Nicely done. Auditory is a solid answer. What is the primary focus of time management? Ugh. Good thinking. Learning how to manage yourself effectively is the right answer. Learning styles are also referred to as dash. Right choice. Learning modalities is the best answer. Which two are key areas in learning process? Perfect. Attention and perception is the correct choice. How many learning styles are there in total? Good job. Your answer 8 works well here. Which is not an auditory learning technique? On track. Pie charts is the correct answer. There are 3 learning styles, which are strong choice, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic tactile is the right answer. What is not included in learning styles is? Exactly. Telekinesis makes sense and it is right choice. What do kinesthetic learners struggle with?
Great thinking. Concentrating. when asked to sit and read, is the right choice.
The way in which a person thinks and learn. Correct. Learning styles is the right answer. Which learning style responds to graphics? Clear logic. Your choice multimodal is sound and 100% true. Which learning style wants you to lecture? Smart pick. Auditory is the correct choice. How can you determine your learning style? Correct. By observing yourself and your previous learning experiences is the right answer. A learning style where you use the logic? On track. Logical mathematical is the correct answer. Which learning style likes to read books? Excellent. Verbal is a brilliant choice. Learning involves which of the three domains? Smart pick. Cognitive, affective, physiological is the correct choice. Which is not a visual learning technique. Correct response. Listen to a lecture is the most accurate answer. Which learning style color codes things? Solid response. Visual is a valid choice. Learning preference. Touch, move, balance. You got it. Your choice kinesthetic is right. What are the three main learning styles? Well picked. Auditory, visual, kinesthetic is the correct answer. A learning style where you prefer words. Nice selection. Verbal is the correct and valid answer.
Which learning style loves taking notes?
Right again. Reading and writing is a valid answer.
They have an imaginative way of learning.
Excellent choice. Auditory is the right answer. How many learning style types are there? Right choice. 4 is the best answer. Which is an example of a habit of Erica? Exactly. Twisting hair when nervous makes sense, and it is right choice. What does implicit learning link with? Good job. Your answer motor learning works well here.
What are personality types related to?
Bravo. Learning styles is the answer. Which learning enjoys class lectures? Strong choice. Reading and writing is the right answer. The way you learn best is called your. Nice work. You chose learning style, and it is correct. What is a kinesthetic learning style? Valid point. Learns best by doing is true. Observational learning involves dash. Smart move. Over-serving and trying to copy is an accurate answer. Which learning style loves movement? Good thinking. Kinesthetic is the right answer. Personality can be identified using. Great job. Personality assessment is the accurate answer. What is the main focus of the book? You're right. Language is the correct answer. What does oral learning deal with? Clear logic. Your choice sound music is sound and 100% true. Learning the ABCs is an example of. Perfect. Musical mnemonic is the correct choice. Which one is not a learning style? Well done. Laughing is the right choice.
Reading or writing learning style. You chose learns best by reading or writing, and it is correct.
They learn by touching and doing. Nicely done. Tactile learners is a solid answer. Learning by seeing is called dash. Well reasoned. Visual learner is the correct choice.
What is the name of this course?
Sharp thinking. Study skills is the right choice.
What was the last class topic?
Great thinking. Learning styles is the right choice.
What is a tactile learning style?
Smart move. You learn by touching, and doing is an accurate answer.
3 major learning styles are: great job, visual, auditory. Tactile is the accurate answer.
How many main learning styles?
Good thinking. 3 is the right answer.
All are learning styles except. Nicely done. Linguistic is a solid answer.
What is a starting strategy?
You're right. Creating a list is the correct answer. Learning styles is in dash. Right choice. Individual's preference of method in learning is the best answer. I prefer hands-on learning. Exactly. Kinesthetic learners make sense and it is right choice. What is an auditory learner?
Nice work. You chose learns best by listening, and it is correct.
Learning strategies are dash. On track. Steps taken by students to enhance their own learning is the correct answer. What are learning styles? Well picked. Preferred methods individuals use to process and absorb information is the correct answer. What is a visual learner?
Bravo. You learn by reading and seeing pictures is the answer.
What is tactile learning? Correct. Physical movement to learn is the right answer.
What is visual learning?
Nice selection. Learning by reading things or seeing pictures is the correct and valid answer.
Speaking up for yourself. Excellent choice. Self-advocacy is the right answer.
Auditory learners dash. Solid response. Have difficulty with written directions is a valid choice.
Audible learning style. Correct response. Learns best by hearing instructions. Listening is the most accurate answer. Use hands-on learning.
Great thinking. Kinesthetic learner is the right choice.
Visual learning style.
Strong choice. Learns best by seeing models, diagrams, and/or charts is the right answer.
Visual learners dash.
Clear logic. Your choice need to see it to know it is sound and 100% true. A learning style is well reasoned. The way someone prefers to learn is the correct choice. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Excellent. Contact Narayan Changda is a brilliant choice.